I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Matt Duchesne of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Justus Aros of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Ryan Johansson of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started on the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadespuck.com, you'll be able to learn everything you need to know about the show. And once you're done getting all educated, then you can click on that merchandise tab, and that's going to take you directly to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, and a bunch of other different special event t-shirts that we have in the store, plus all of our other gimmicks, the sock, the throw pillows, the wall art, the bed sets. You can outfit your entire home or your entire self or both if you'd like through our online store. We've sold out so that you can buy in. We're sure to appreciate each and every one of you picking up some merchandise over the holidays. A lot of Renegades got some fantastic Christmas gifts. You can help us out on social media by going to any of the following platforms, and that is TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscription, pass some links around, help us out. Social media is of critical importance to this independent operation. Doesn't take you but a second, doesn't cost you a penny, but it sure does help us out a long way. Also, YouTube, give us a subscription there. We've picked up a couple of new subscribers in the last couple of days. Stick taps, love, and respect to you guys. Appreciate you for that. Great job, Renegades. Also, you can find us on a number of audio platforms: Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon, Google, all podcast platforms where you can find the Renegades of Puck. And you can find us streaming live on Twitch. That's our behind the scenes channel. Check us out. We're there right now. That's the camera that's just over to the side over there. So appreciate all the help and all the support on all of those different platforms. Venmo, that's how you can become a partner or sponsor of the Renegades of Puck. Just go to Venmo and search Renegades of Puck or scan the QR code that's currently on your screen. Thanks to generous Renegades just like you, in the year 2022, we were able to upgrade significantly the equipment here in the bunker, from the microphones to the camera to the lighting to just about every single thing that you see in here. We were able to make significant changes. We are very ambitious here in the bunker, and we are continuing to make upgrades, and we are continuing to add equipment. So please, anything you can spare goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck. Now, I know it's time for the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It's time for operation number 697. You see it right here, operation number 697 for the Renegades of Puck. At this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 6th place in the Central Division after 36 games played. They have a record of 16, 14, and 6. 38 points has them 1 point now behind 5th place St. Louis, 2 points behind 4th place Colorado, and 6 points behind the automatic playoff cutoff line. So going into the middle part of the season right here, the Nashville Predators find themselves only a couple of points from the automatic playoff cutoff line. That's something we'll start discussing a lot more in the second half of the season, but I just wanted to make note that the Nashville Predators had actually significantly closed the gap in the standings here on the teams that are just above them in the standings. Dallas is still in first place in the Central Division, and Winnipeg in second place. Then I mentioned Minnesota, Colorado, St. Louis, then Nashville, and then you'll find Arizona. Nashville Predators have put a little bit more gap between themselves and the Coyotes, now 7 points ahead of Arizona. And Chicago Blackhawks are in last place with one of the worst overall point totals in the NHL of only 20 points. They have 25 losses on the season in just 37 games played. Now, that's the standings wrap up for the Central Division. Let's get back to the Nashville Predators on the road, which is where their next several games will take place. Matter of fact, 5-game road trip is about to take place. Their road record 7-8-3 on the season. The Preds, with their last goal in that last game, that was their 100th goal of the season. They've given up 110 on the season. That's a goal differential of -10 on the season. Now, for the Nashville Predators, this 5-game road trip will begin in Carolina versus the Carolina Hurricanes. First of 2 regular season meetings between the Nashville Predators and the one-time division rival Carolina Hurricanes. They won't meet again until at Bridgestone Arena on April the 6th. For the Nashville Predators, after they finish up with the Carolina Hurricanes, it'll be a quick turnaround heading into Washington to take on the Capitals on Friday night, and then on Monday they will be in Ottawa. The 11th they will be in Toronto, the 12th in Montreal, and then back home on January the 14th versus the Buffalo Sabres. So almost 2 full weeks for the Nashville Predators on the road now, looking to make up some ground and points in the standings over in the Eastern Conference. For the Carolina Hurricanes, another impressive season for them so far, at least through this point. 25-7-6 is their overall record. They have 56 points. That's good for first in the Metropolitan Metropolitan Division on home ice. Also impressive record, 12-3-1, and the Nashville Predators have had plenty of difficulties going up to this Carolina Hurricanes team and going into their rink and securing victories. Plus 22 is the Canes' goal differential on the season, and the Canes had been on an absolute incredible streak to end and begin the year in their schedule until running into a roadblock in their most recent game against New York Rangers. Let's go back and recap the sample size of the most recent 5. Let's go back to December 23rd, just before the Christmas break. It was a 6-5 win versus the Philadelphia Flyers. After the Christmas break, a 3-0 victory versus Chicago, and then on the 30th, a 4-0 victory versus the Florida Panthers. Followed up on the first of the year with a 5-4 shootout win at the New Jersey Devils, falling at Madison Square Garden to the New York Rangers 5-3. Held a 3-2 lead in that game, but the New York Rangers had a huge comeback in a big third period to defeat the Canes at MSG. Now, the NHL ranks between these two teams. There is going to be a wide disparity between these rankings. The Carolina Hurricanes in these statistical metrics are top 10 in several categories. Let's go through and review. In goals for, the Nashville Predators are 27th in the NHL. Now listen, 2.72 is looking a lot better than it was 10 days ago, and the Nashville Predators certainly had an offensive outburst in recent games, but 27th overall in the NHL is still far underperforming on the season. Now the Carolina Hurricanes, 3.11 per season, 20th overall in the NHL. They may say that's underperforming for them with the significant amount of offense they've been able to put up in the last couple of seasons. In the goals against category, the Nashville Predators are 16th in the NHL. It's right there in the middle of the pack, 3.03 given up per game, while the Carolina Hurricanes are giving up 2.61 per game. That is 5th best in the NHL. When it comes to generating shots on nets, there's only one team in the NHL better than the Carolina Hurricanes, so they come in second, putting 34.9 shots on goal per game. UC Saros is probably going to be under a heavy workload. The Preds generate 31 shots on net per game. That's 19th best in the NHL. Preds are giving up 33.3 against per game. That's 26th in the NHL. Well, get this statistical metric for the Carolina Hurricanes. Best overall in shots against, giving up a very limited and low number of only 26.4 per game. So the Nashville Predators 19th in shots for, the Canes first in shots against. The Nashville Predators are going to have to work very hard to generate their offense in this game. On the power play, the Nashville Predators are 28th in the NHL, 17.9% conversion rate, or 22 out of 123 opportunities. The Carolina Hurricanes power play not doing much better. You might expect a lot more out of this team. 25th in the NHL, 18.9% conversion rate, 25 conversions on 132 opportunities. Now, the PK units are also very similar in rankings. The Nashville Predators 15th in the NHL, 79% kill rate, 26 power play goals against, while Carolina is 13th in the NHL, 26 power play goals against as well. The same number as the Nashville Predators. Now, when it comes to individual statistics, every team in the NHL has a significant amount of high-skilled players. Let's run down a listing. Let's start with the visiting Nashville Predators and their individual stats and scoring leaders. Philip Forsberg has been on an absolute tear, coming off some individual awards, coming off some also significant milestones for the franchise, including his 500th point, fastest Nashville Predators player ever to 500 points, only the third Nashville Predators player ever to get to 500 points. Highly impressive. He leads the team in scoring at this point in the season, 14 goals. That is number one on the team, the 14 goals. 19 assists is second, or is third on the team, and a total points, 33, of course, leads the Nashville Predators in scoring. The captain, Roman Josi, has closed the gap significantly. 9 goals now in the season, 21 assists, 30 points. Matt Duchene's at 11 goals and 17 assists for 28 points. Mikhail Granlund, 4 and 20 for 24. And Nino Niederreiter picked up quite a bit of assists as of late. 12 goals, 9 assists now on the season, 21 points overall. So the Nashville Predators have 5 players over 20 points now on the season. UC Saros continues improving his numbers as this season goes along. The record overall, 13, 10, and 5, but a 9.15 save percentage, 2.76 goals against average. Really impressive stuff that he has done over the months of November and especially in December. Now we go ahead and go over to the Carolina Hurricanes side of things. 17 and 20 for 37 points is the team lead in scoring right there. Svechnikov second on the team, 19 goals. That leads the Canes in total goals, 19, 14 assists, 33 points. Sebastian Aho at 12 goals and 18 assists for 30 points. Burns out there on the blue line, 5 and 23 for 28. And Nosen, 8 and 12 for 20. Now, Ranta in net, 10, 2 and 2, but also get this, Kochetkov also 10, 2 and 4, a 9.24 save percentage, 8.97 save percentage, so a little disparity right there, but a 2.08 goals against, a 2.62 goals goals against average. All really good and respectable numbers from the Carolina Hurricanes netminders. We'll have to see how they deploy their starting goaltender before the Nashville Predators. You have to anticipate going into a first-place rink that the Nashville Predators and John Hines will be starting their head netminder in UC Saros. To get you all started up for the Nashville Predators in their first of 5 road games in Carolina, Friday night in Washington. Nashville Predators going to have to manage that ice time as well. Quick turnaround headed off to Washington. Let's see what they can do against another first-place team. The roller coaster of the schedule continues, where the Preds take on a last-place team, a first-place team, a last place, a first place, and so on and so on. It's just been that way as of late. We'll be back immediately with
Rebirth
Rebirth
Sports.
Sports.
Check out their work,
RebirthSports.com, or find them on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Very easy to find them, and they're very interactive, very good people, and I certainly love having a partnership with that crew. You see me wearing the Renegades of Puck home jersey right here in the bunker. You see me wearing the road jersey, the third jersey, just last night skating with the Mighty Drunks here in Middle Tennessee in the Middle C Division. Got a chance to pull on the red, white, and blue Rebirth Sports Mighty Drunks jersey. Good-looking threads out there at the rink. Got asked multiple times, where did that jersey come from? And I had to tell them, of course, because I love having the conversation. Came from Rebirth Sports. Sure to appreciate them. They take visions, make them reality, and they are certainly not jersey makers. They are hockey tailors. So check out their work, RebirthSports.com. The Nashville Predators open up the 2023 calendar year-end schedule, and John Hines deploys his blended lines in the following way. Back at Bridgestone Arena, it's going to be Forsberg, Parson, and Sissons on your first line. Jankowski back in the lineup. Good to see. Was worried after he took the hit to the head against the Vegas Golden Knights. Johansson and Duchesne make up the rest of your second line. Niederreiter, Glass, and Granlund have found some chemistry and are still together in this game. Trennan, Novak, and Janot make up your fourth line. McDonough and Yossi, Ekholm, and Carrier, Luzon, and McEwen. Fabro, a healthy scratch in this game. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. UC Saros gets the first start of the calendar year at home against the Montreal Canadiens. We're just 48 seconds into the game at Bridgestone Arena. UC Saros comes up with a save on Savardis, the first shot of the game, 1:58 of the first period. Montebo comes up with a save on McDonough. It's the first shot on goal for the Nashville Predators. At 2:32, we see Edmondson go off to the box, 2 minutes for delay of game. That's where Glass converts for the Nashville Predators, his third goal of the season, giving the Preds a 1-0 lead. It was a deflection of a high Ekholm shot in the low slot, reviewed for a significant amount of time for potential high stick, upheld to be a good goal. Really great hand-eye coordination by Glass right here, going to the hard areas and getting reward. Predators with a 1-0 lead, but at 5:49 of the first period, Colton Sissons makes it 2-0 with his 5th goal of the season. It was Forsberg's incredible sauce pass over to Sissons at the back post that made this goal happen. Colton Sissons crashing hard, cashing in. 5th goal of the season gives the Preds a 2-0 lead, just 5:49 into the first period on home ice. 7:59 of the first period. Saros comes up with a save on Caulfield with the pad, stretched it all the way out to the back post. Really a 5-star save right here to see the flexibility and the quickness of UC Saros and the edge work to be able to push over as quickly as he did. Glass is going to go off to the box 2 minutes for tripping on Caulfield at the same time as Caulfield was getting that scoring opportunity. That's going to put Gallagher in the box on this power play. He's going to go off 2 minutes for high sticking on Jankowski. That puts us in a 4-on-4 scenario for 1 minute and 18 seconds. And then Matthias Ekholm would score on the very, very end of the power play that the Nashville Predators would get after the 4-on-4. His third goal of the season was a long shot off of the D stick. As a matter of fact, it was a perfect deflection, but you have to give Glass credit because he was not just flying by the top of the net, but he was looking for a redirect as well. As a matter of fact, he had to take several looks at the slow-mo and the super slow-mo from different angles to see if it was Glass or the defenseman's stick that deflected. Turned out to be the defenseman's stick. Ekholm awarded the goal, his 3rd of the season, and the Nashville Predators' 3rd goal of the game. 12:29 of the first period, Saros comes up with a save on Doc's redirect and rebound follow-up jam opportunity. Really good, strong save by UC Saros. 14:32, Montebo comes with a save on Carey. He was also crashing the net hard. That led to a large scrum, and that led to Sissons and Weidman heading off to the box for 2 minutes apiece, which is going to give us a 4-on-4 scenario. Nothing would come of that situation. 19:11 of the first period, Caulfield's 22nd goal comes on a partial breakaway after Carrier got a little too deep in the zone. This leads to a turnover. Forsberg just no match to keep up with Caulfield on this play, and he cashes in. 22nd goal of the season, beating UC Saros easily. 3-1 in favor of the Nashville Predators here at the end of the first period. Shots on goal are tied at 15 apiece. Seemed like the Nashville Predators were dominating the first period, but the shots on goal end up being completely even score, 3-1. Fresh sheet of ice for the second period, 3:47 in. Saros comes with a save on Caulfield at close range. 4:05 of the second period. Niederreiter hits the post, and at 6:40, Anderson's 10th goal of the season cuts the Nashville Predators lead to only one. 3-2 now in favor of the Nashville Predators. It was a soft goal off of UC Saros' glove and in. Saros saw it all the way in, no traffic in front. It goes off the tip of the glove and then scrolls in behind Saros and into the net. Nashville Predators give up a soft one right here. At 8:18, Tommy Novak's getting that goal right back with his third goal of the season. Trenton speed from below the goal line to the low circle gives Novak a great scoring opportunity. He converts, giving the Preds their fourth goal of the game and restoring that 2-goal lead. Preds now in front 4-2. At 10:30 of the second period, Doc hits the post after a turnover by the Nashville Predators, attempting to clear the zone. 12:48 of the second period, McDonough's off the box, 2 minutes for holding a strong PK. Trenton, as a matter of fact, steals the puck behind the net as it was left completely unattended and almost tucks the puck in the net. I call that some short-handed jam right there. 17:48, though, of the second period, it would be the captain Roman Josi getting his 9th goal of the season, giving the Preds a 5-2 lead. Now, it was Tommy Novak's pass that let Roman Josi take the shot through traffic. The captain puts the Nashville Predators up by 3, 5-2 late in the second period. 18:34 of the second. Trenton's off the box, 2 minutes for high sticking. Saros would have to come up with a big save on Caulfield, then come up with another big save on Caulfield, but it would be Montembeault closing out the period with the biggest save of all as McDonough was crashing the net hard with a redirect right there at 19:59. Referees and officials let the period expire, and we hit the end of the second period. The Preds are out shooting Montreal 25-23. 13 seconds into the third period, it's going to be Ekholm off the box. 2 minutes for high sticking. So on the continuation of the power play for Montreal, now they will add to that a 5-on-3 for a total of 19 seconds. Overall, strong PK because the Nashville Predators not only survived the 5-on-3, but they go on to kill off the 5-on-4 as well. 2:58 of the third period. Harris is off the box. 2 minutes for hooking, and then Evans is off the box. 2 minutes for tripping on the captain Roman Josi. This would lead to a 5-on-3 in favor of the Nashville Predators for 42 seconds, and that's where Matt Duchene is cashing in. It was his 11th goal of the season. It was the captain Roman Josi with a perfect pass to the low circle across the slot to the back post, and Matt Duchene cashing in 6-2 in favor of the Nashville Predators. Over the next several shifts, several minutes, the Preds were controlling everything. As a matter of fact, the ice was completely tilted. Numerous scoring chances. Tanner Jeannot had numerous scoring chances, but could not cash in at any point in time. As a matter of fact, I made the note that it could be 7, 8, 9-2 at this point. But 16:59 of the third period, Gallagher picks up his 4th goal of the season. Montreal now down 6-3. It was a broken stick, a turnover, and a backdoor play that led to a roof job. And just like that, a garbage goal for the Montreal Canadiens into the back of the net. Carrier was the one who ended up with the broken stick. That would be your final score, though. 6-3 as the final couple of minutes would expire with nothing else going on. The Nashville Predators would actually generate a couple of more good scoring chances there in the final minutes. The Preds would outshoot Montreal for the game 34-27, but most importantly, would secure the 2 points on home ice. Overall, a rather easy victory for the Nashville Predators team. They got up 3-0. They won the game 6-3. They gave up a soft goal. They gave up a garbage goal, but overall, the Nashville Predators were in control of this entire game, and there were only brief stretches just after turnovers or things like that where the Nashville Predators found themselves in any danger at any time. But they controlled the game for about 85-90% of the play in this one. That's why they come away with a 6-3 victory. And it's good to see the Nashville Predators putting up another nice large goal total against another bad team. So the Nashville Predators now have continued this roller coaster schedule, first place teams, last place teams, and they've been able to secure a couple of victories. Chicago, that is a good victory. Anaheim, that's a good victory. And now this is another good victory against the Montreal Canadiens. Now the Nashville Predators are going to be tested very heavily on this upcoming road trip, and they started out with a first place team in the Carolina Hurricanes, a place where the Preds have had incredible difficulty in the last few years. And against this particular Carolina Hurricanes grouping, the Nashville Predators have definitely struggled in that last couple of years. That's the Rebro Sports full game recap. We got the Renegades of Puck, including Sean C. Smith and Brian Baston, coming up next. I'll give you some analysis, and then we'll talk about some stats as well. It's coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. Strong Style Fitness is a great partner here of the Renegades of Puck, and we love our partners. Strong Style Fitness can be found online, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Instagram is their preferred method of communication when it comes to social media. StrongStyleFit.com is where you can find the website. 150 workouts by a certified personal trainer, completely free to each and every one of the Renegades of Puck. Just go to YouTube and search Strong Style Fit, and you'll be able to find those, whether it's your first step off the couch, your first workout, or you've been at it for years. Tracy has a workout that is designed and dedicated to each and every one of you out there. She just wants to get you moving and get you motivated and keep you healthy. She has provided all of these workouts on her YouTube channel completely for free. So Renegades of Puck, in a world that has become increasingly more expensive every day, take advantage of an opportunity to have the Renegades of Puck personal trainer at Strong Style Fitness. Great partner here of the show. UC Saros, 24 out of 27 in this game. He gave up a partial breakaway goal to Caulfield, one of the most dynamic young scorers in the game today. I know he started off the season in a tough way, but he is easily one of the best goal scorers right now in the game. And as a matter of fact, a weak goal for UC Saros and then a garbage goal against UC Saros right there at the very end of the third period when the Preds were up 6-2. Well, it might not have been UC Saros' best game going up against the last place team. A light workload, ends up giving up 3 in total. I'm not going to critique him too heavily. The Nashville Predators come away with a 6-3 victory. Saros' official stat line, 24 out of 27. He continues putting up really, really solid numbers these last couple of weeks. His save percentage was certainly not equaled in this game, and his goals against average, he gave up 3. His goals against is 2.76 on the season. So the goals against will go up just a little bit after this game, but overall, UC Saros did what he had to do to get the victory, and now we'll see what he can do against the Carolina Hurricanes. Tommy Novak, a goal and assist in this game, 2 points. Tommy Novak, so noticeable in this last stretch of hockey. Again, I've made the observation a couple of times that I thought last year at the beginning of the season, for the first couple of weeks or whatever it was that he was here, I thought he was so noticeable and just did so many little things the right way. So I'm so happy to see him getting this second opportunity, and he is really proving to be worth giving the minutes to out there. 2 points in this game and another just incredibly strong game for Tommy Novak. He also had 4 shots on goal, and he did all of this in just 12:48 in total time on ice. Again, I want to see Tommy Novak continue getting more ice time. He's earning that ice time, and it's been really nice to watch. He goes to the hard areas, and he's getting rewarded. Niederreiter, Granlund, Glass made the comment they've been together now. They've been more of a defensive line, more of a traditional third line checking situation where they're put out there directly in opposition to the other team's best offensive line, and that has been working out. But now they're also contributing and generating some good chemistry on the offensive side of things together. In this game alone, 1 goal, 5 assists for the trio, 6 total points. That's your third line, what has become your checking line as of late. So Niederreiter, Granlund, Glass, 6 points in this game. It was Glass coming away with the goal. Granlund had 2 assists, and Nino Niederreiter had 3 assists in this game. And Nino Niederreiter was just incredibly noticeable these last couple of games. He's been very active in the offensive side of things. It's great to see. He started off the season red hot, kind of dipped for a little bit there, but it looks like whatever it was that was going on, slump, injury, whatever was going on behind the scenes, looks like he's adjusting now very well and having a good middle portion of the season. So that line, that seems to be a good combination John Hans has found. The captain, Roman Josi, a goal and an assist, seven more shots on goal on the season, 22-24 in time on ice, led the Nashville Predators time on ice as he traditionally does. And listen, he is easily one of the most fun, smoothest hockey players to cover, to watch, to discuss, to talk about. Now on the season, 30 points. Yes, he's coming off a 90-plus point season. Not going to equal that point total this season, but he's going to put up another incredible, otherworldly season. And when he's out there doing his thing, sometimes you just got to kick back and watch and enjoy it. And I encourage everybody, if you don't spend much time just individually isolating Roman Josi and watching what he does out there. I mean, it's hard to avoid. He's usually controlling the play, especially on the offensive side of things. But you really should focus on what Roman Josi does. Shift in and shift out. It's so impressive, and he truly is one of the best offensive defensemen of this generation. And I think that more people need to pay attention. I made a note about Matthias Ekholm that I wanted to say something about him because he had a goal and assist. He had 2 shots on goal, 21-55 in total time on ice. And, we're getting to that season. We're starting to approach trade deadline. It's getting closer and closer every minute. And Matthias Ekholm's name is the first from the Nashville Predators to really start coming up. We've also talked a little bit in the recent past about how UC Saros could be at some point something the Nashville Predators are looking to move that could be very valuable because of the success of Askarov in Milwaukee, even though Askarov is still not ready to be an NHL goaltender. Very rarely do goaltenders make the leap that quickly, but Askarov is truly proving to be a one-of-a-kind, maybe once-in-a-generation goaltending prospect. But UC Saros, Matthias Ekholm's name has now come up. Matthias Ekholm, clearly, if he is going to be on the trading block, his stock is going to go up. He's going to have a goal and assist and skate 22 minutes of really well-played defensive hockey for the Nashville Predators. We'll continue talking about that stuff as we go, as the rumors continue to come up. I don't generally deal in rumors. This isn't going to be an E4, E5 situation. That's not typically what I do. I talk about what's actually happening and if it's something that seems like it's plausible and reasonable, and something we will definitely discuss here. And Tanner Jeannot is cursed. Tanner Jeannot had so many opportunities right around the front of the net. He even tried to go between the legs and try the Philip Forsberg play right in front. I don't know what it's going to take to break Tanner Jeannot out, but he is honestly, on the offensive side of things, his season is abysmal. He's doing all of the other things that made people fall in love with him as a cult hockey player. He's still out there being incredibly physical. He's out there giving and sacrificing on the penalty kill, and he's certainly willing to scrap when necessary. It hasn't been nearly as much this season as perhaps it was last season, but on the offensive side of things, he's just cursed, and maybe he just needs to take every single stick that he has, go out behind the practice rink and just break every single one of them and get a whole new order of sticks and just start fresh. But whatever it is, Tanner Jeannot is just really, really struggling out there, and you can see how hard the Nashville Predators teammates of his are trying to help him break out of that funk. This game, though, there's so many opportunities just at close range, right in front of the net. It just seems as if Tanner Jeannot might be cursed. It's probably why the Nashville Predators didn't add to their lead in the third period. They spent so much effort and energy trying to get Tanner Jeannot good scoring opportunities, and he was getting them. He just was not able to convert. That's a lot of analysis. That's a lot of words from me about what went on in this game, what's going on with the Nashville Predators. And I want to hear from the Renegades of Puck. I want to hear from the front lines. I want to hear exactly what their observations were. Sean C. Smith was at Bridgestone Arena tonight. He was in the press box. He went down to the locker room. He talked to the coach, talked to the players after the game. He's got some intel from the front lines, and I want to hear from him right now. You can catch his work at A to Z Sports, and you can also find him on Twitter at SCSNSH. He's Sean C. Smith, and he's up right now.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, it's Sean Smith. We're going to talk about this big Predators win over the Montreal Canadiens. Now, of course, it's always an exciting time when the Canadiens come to town because you don't get just one, you get two anthems. Always a fun time at Bridgestone. But the most exciting thing tonight was the massive onslaught of offense. Now, before we get into that, let's talk about something else that popped up right before the game. Now, of course, earlier in the day, we learned that Dante Fabro would be a healthy scratch. Now, of course, there was a lot of speculation that is he being saved for a trade? Is he being held out? What's going on with Fabro? I'm going to say this. I don't think that there's a trade coming for Dante Fabro. I didn't think that was the case when that news came out, but it wasn't too long afterwards that something came out that talked about how Matthias Ekholm was somebody who was apparently on the trade block. Now, Ekholm came into the game playing, had a great game, had a goal, had an assist, definitely got involved, looked like he was playing like a man possessed out there. And the big news, of course, it wasn't just Ekholm getting a goal. There were a lot of guys getting goals. 6 goals from 6 players. Nino Niederreiter with 3 assists on the night. And you're starting to see some contribution on offense from the depth, and that's exactly what you want to start seeing. I talked with Alex Doherty, also of A to Z Sports, on our last podcast about how you're coming up on the end of the first half of the season, or in this case, the end of the second 20-game segment that they kind of like to judge the team on. And at this point, the team is a 500-level team. Had a rough start, got a little better, but you're still kind of rounding out around 500. Now, what that means to me is that unless this team starts to see some scoring happening, you're probably not looking at a very good rest of the year. And if Matthias Ekholm on the trade block doesn't tell you that things may be going downhill a little bit as far as expectations are going for the Predators, then I don't know what will. because that would kind of mean that they're saying, hey, we've got to start clearing some cap space. We've got a lot of pending free agents coming up in the offseason, and we've got to make sure we've got room to sign the guys we need. You could also be shaking things up a little bit, maybe even kind of setting yourself up. I don't want to say for failure, I don't want to say for tanking, but setting yourself up for a better chance at a high draft pick in this loaded draft. So that's kind of the big story coming out of the Predators game tonight. And I'll just say, it was really nice to see Cody Glass get a goal. Really nice to see Tommy Novak get a goal. These are both guys I think that all Renegades should be cheering for, mainly because they really embody that no half-stepping thing. John Hines had some really nice things to say about both guys after the game, talking about that they kept earning their chances, they kept sticking around on the roster because they play the right way. They play the right way in practice. They play the right way in the game. And that's what you want to see if you're not taking any half steps. Charlie, I'm excited about the outcome of the game, but I'll tell you, I'm a little bit concerned about the road trip coming up. They're playing against some pretty heavy teams that are known to hang goals on teams, and I hope they can hang on. I hope they come out of this road trip a little bit above 500. That would mean good things, and I'm really curious to see where this rumor with Ekholm goes. I guess I'd say stay tuned. Hopefully I'll have an update. Somebody will have an update soon on all that. And Charlie, that's all I've got. I'm going to send it back over to you.
Stripe Digital Solutions is another great partner of the Renegades of Puck, and I sure do appreciate everything Stripe Digital Solutions does for us here in the trenches. Check out their work, stripedigitalsolutions.com, or online, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You see the crest that is on the jersey right here. You see the logo on the wall behind me. The website, renegadesofpuck.com. Our social media and brand building plan, all of that is managed by and through Stripe Digital Solutions. We could not succeed on any level in the current world the way it functions without a strong digital partner, and Stripe Digital Solutions is the strongest digital partner. I urge and encourage each and every one of you to reach out to Brandy and start the conversation today. I think that my website is fantastic. My logos, my graphics, I think everything is wonderful, and that is because I have visions and ideas, and then they are whittled down by Stripe Digital Solutions into something that actually is coherent and makes sense on the screen. They do incredible work, and I encourage each and every one of you, check out Stripe Digital Solutions. When it comes to the box score in this game, plenty of numbers, plenty of things to talk about. As a matter of fact, look at how many different things were circled. Look at how many different things we get to talk about in this game. It's always good when the home team puts up a number of goals. Your goal scorers in this game, Matt Duchene, Cody Glass, Tommy Novak, Colton Sisson, Matthias Ekholm, and Roman Josi. So 4 goals from the forwards, 2 goals from the defense. Really nice breakdown right there. On the assist side of things, Nino Niederreiter leads the Nashville Predators in assists in this game. He had 3. Really excellent game right there. Mikhail Granlund had 2. Forsberg had 1. Janot had 1. Tommy Novak had an assist. Yakov Trenin adds an assist. Ekholm and Josi also add assists. So 4 points coming from the defense core in this game. When it comes to shots on goal, the captain Roman Josi with 7 shots on goal led the team. When it comes to the forwards, it was Tommy Novak with 4 shots on goal that led the forward grouping. When it comes to blocked shots, 3 by Ryan McDonagh. Ryan McDonagh also an incredibly smooth stick check in this game as a player was going down the slot looking for a scoring opportunity. McDonagh is just so smooth out there. His 18:05 in time on ice was pretty good hockey if you ask me. When it comes to time on ice, 18:03 out of the forwards. That's going to be your leader, and it is, of course, Mikhail Granlund. Overall, good job rolling all 4 lines. No forward getting more than 18:03, and the least amount of time skated for the forwards appears to be 11:16, and that's going to be by Jankowski. And again, Jankowski coming back from taking a really big hit in the last game where he missed some time. So good to see Jankowski out there, period. Also, good to see him able to take his regular shift. On the overall time on ice for the game, of course, the captain, Roman Josi, 22-24 in time on ice. McEwen got 14:39 in his first game back with the Nashville Predators, and Luzon 16:23. So your third pair averaging about 15 minutes right there for the Nashville Predators. So the time on ice distribution really good, rolling all 4 lines, being able to roll all 3 defensive pairings, and it helps when you have a 3-goal lead early in the game in this one. So for the Nashville Predators, they take care of the business they had to take care of. They secure the 2 points against another last place team in the Montreal Canadiens, and now they'll move on and start a big time 5-game road trip. It's time to talk to Brian Baston. He's got the numbers you need to know, the charts you need to see from ontheforecheck.com. He was also at Bridgestone Arena tonight. Here's his thoughts and analysis on everything that happened between the Nashville Predators and the Montreal Canadiens. It's one big stat.
Thanks a lot, Charlie. I'm here at Bridgestone Arena, and ahead of the Predators being about to embark on a brutal road trip where they'll play 5 games in 8 days, including 2 sets of back-to-backs. First they had to take care of business against one of the worst teams in the NHL, the Montreal Canadiens. And Nashville, for once, was actually able to easily answer that bell. And why you can point to the improved play of UC Saros, Philip Forsberg reawakening back to his usual self ahead of February, or the rise in depth scoring. But no matter what reason we can think of, one thing remains true. The offense feels like it's finally starting to click, and that's the topic of tonight's One Big Stat. The Nashville Predators have now scored a whopping 14 goals in their last 3 games. Prior to those 3 games, the Predators were averaging just 2.5 goals per game, but now average over 4.6 goals a game over the last 3. But how good was it for Nashville to follow up that OT loss in Vegas with an offensive outburst like this? This is just the second time since the beginning of 2022 that Nashville has scored 12 points in consecutive games. It hasn't been since Twins' 6-3 wins over Toronto at home and the Ducks in Anaheim back in late March of last year that the Predators have been able to string together that many goals in back-to-back games. Now, while it's true that 12 of the 14 goals in the last 3 games came against basement-dwelling teams like Montreal and Chicago, this is still a promising sign for Nashville. Tonight was the 4th straight game that the Predators had double-digit high-danger chances. In fact, they've had 10 or more of those chances in 7 of their last 10, a pretty obvious reason why the Preds have been able to suddenly find the net. Now, the Predators will have to keep up their scoring now that UC Saros is back to form with the road trip ahead, and it doesn't have to look so treacherous that they can keep playing like this, but only time can tell. So let's hope that the Predators get back to Bridgestone late next week with a few more games in the win column when they return. And that's tonight's One Big Stat.
I'm Crazy Charlie Saunier, captain of the Renegades of Puck. I'm also tired of the cold, tired of the dark, and tired of being landlocked. I'm also willing to bet that I'm not the only one who could use some sun, fun, and time in paradise with friends. That's exactly why I called our great friend Pete Weber. He told me, call Ships and Trips Travel, and now we're all going to Mexico. That's right, Renegades of Puck, July 15th to the 20th of 2023. Dreams Vallarta Resort in Puerto Vallarta is the destination to hang with Pete Weber in paradise. To join Pete and the Renegades of Puck in Puerto Vallarta, go to www.shipsandtripstravel.com. That's shipsandtripstravel.com and just click on the ROP on vacation tab. Don't stay landlocked. Join the Renegades of Puck in paradise, July 15th to the 20th, 2023 in Puerto Vallarta. Pete Weber, the Renegades of Puck, and you. It's time to ditch those skates for flip-flops and fun in the sun. It's time for a follow-up on the Wish Cup. I told you I would update you on the next episode after Saturday. I told you that the team was 1-0 going into day 2 at the Wish Cup. Unfortunately, in the what we call the hangover game, the early morning game on New Year's Day on Sunday, it had to be a forfeit as not enough players. More importantly, their starting goaltender did not make it to the rink. And, I can understand. It was 8 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Day. I was there. I had my skates on. I was ready to go. Got an early morning skate, came back for the afternoon game. The Mighty Drunks fell in that game. Unfortunately, I took a little bit of a hard hit, and for precautionary reasons, the trainers held me out of the final 2 games of the tournament. I will admit I did have the spins, but I was going to try to keep going as long as I could. I tried to stay and support my team, but I had to go ahead and go to the quiet room, had to go ahead and leave the rink and head on out of there. But the team did go on and win our bracket, and so I am Wish Cup champion for the New Year's Eve, New Year's Day tournament in the C division with the Mighty Drunks. My final lap with the Mighty Drunks ends up being yet another medal, another championship, another something memory I can put on the shelf for all time. Great to skate with Colby Collier, great to skate with Tyler Radecki and the rest of the Mighty Drunks tournament squad that came out for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. What an incredible tournament over there at the Gary Quisacula Ice Rink. Got to see Sean C. Smith, got to see Kalen Smith play for his team out there in the youngins divisions over there. It was a whole lot of fun. The Wish Cup is a really, really fun experience. If you're a hockey player, whether you're from the Middle Tennessee area or if you're from outside the Middle Tennessee area, look up the Wish Cup. The Wish Cup happens a couple of times a year now, and get yourself entered in it and come on down and participate in the tournament. It truly is a lot of fun, and it's a unique event. It goes to help Make-A-Wish of Middle Tennessee, and it's truly a great event. Had a lot of fun in it. Great to be back on the ice, and good tune-up for me as I get ready to take the reins on my own club. So my final skate ever with the Mighty Drunks. Took place over this weekend when we won the Wish Cup. Now, 5-game road trip for the Nashville Predators. Getting back to that, it's pivotal. There are 10 points on the line. The Nashville Predators right now 2 games over 500, 1 point behind St. Louis. They played 2 less games than the St. Louis Blues, only 2 points behind Colorado with the same amount of games played, and only 6 points from the playoff cutoff line at this moment in time behind the Minnesota Wild. So for the Nashville Predators, I'm not expecting them to go and secure 8 out of 10 points on this road trip. They're going to be going some very tough rinks in Carolina, in Washington, in Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal. Those are games the Nashville Predators should be able to secure those 4 points. So the Nashville Predators, we always like to say this, if they can secure more than half of the points on this road trip, we will consider it a successful road trip. Going into a couple of very tough barns is what they've got to do. They've got to pack a lot of jam to go on that East Coast road trip, and we'll be here to cover each and every bit of it. So sure do hope that you're going to join us right here. We're off to an incredible start to the new year, by the way. For those of you who have been following along and keeping up with us, we sure do appreciate all of that support. We decided to stay in the bunker and work throughout the entire holidays. The Nashville Predators back-to-backs on New Year's Eve. That was not the easiest thing in the world, not the easiest decision to make. But when it comes to covering the team, when it comes to covering the games, we wanted to make sure we had as much information out there as possible for you and to make sure we were staying up to date with our shows. So we stayed here and we handled it. It's called No Half Stepping. It's the only way we know, and we handled our business. So thank you so much for you guys for rewarding us. A lot of clicks, a lot of replays, a lot of all of that stuff was, all the metrics were in a positive trending direction over the New Year's holiday weekend and everything. So that was great. That was a nice reward for us for going to hard work. For each and every one of the Renegades, for Sean C. Smith, for Brian Baston, and each and every one of you out there in the trenches. We appreciate you grinding. We appreciate you going to the greasy, hard areas, and we appreciate the no half-stepping effort that you guys put in each and every day. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, respect.